Hello everyone, let's talk about the integration runtime here. What is integration runtime and why we need? And in this particular video, we'll create the integration runtime and do the data movement activity. So basically, integration runtime is a compute infrastructure, a compute resource that required to move and transfer data. So when we talk about the ETL activity like SSIS in Azure, we have to create integration runtime by ourselves. So why we need the integration runtime is to run the pipeline. What is pipeline? Pipeline is basically combination of data activity, control flow activity, and things like that, right? So all the ETL activity. So to run the ETL activity, we need some compute resources, and that we need. So in integration runtime, there is basically three types of integration runtime at this time. So the first is Azure integration runtime, which is helps to move the data from Azure to Azure, copy data between Azure services to the Azure services. The second type of integration runtime is self-hosted integration runtime. Self-hosted is basically connecting on-prem database file and private networks. So if you are talking about the on-prem or hybrid method to implement, we need self-hosted integration runtime. And there is third type, which is Azure SSIS integration runtime, which helps to run the SSIS packages in ADF. So three types of integration runtime. We are talking about the self-hosted to connect the on-prem database, on-prem server, on-prem files, right? So in this particular video, we'll be creating self-hosted integration runtime. Okay. So integration runtime helps to data flow. Integration runtime helps data movement. Integration runtime helps to dispatch or SSIS package execution. Those are the activity can be done from integration runtime, right? So in this particular video, we'll be demoing how to create the integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime. For that demo, I need to have I will be creating that integration runtime in virtual machine. So that virtual machine is I already created, so I'm going to utilize that virtual machine. If you want to see how to create the virtual machine and install the SQL Server, I have the separate video, and you can watch that video. So that particular creating virtual machine and installing SQL Server and restore the database is covered in separate video. So I'm going to utilize that same virtual machine to create integration runtime now. Okay, without further delay, I'm gonna go to my virtual machine. Virtual machine is right here. So this is my virtual machine. In my virtual machine, I have SSMS installed, and then Advanced Work database. Advanced Work 2017 is installed. So I'm gonna go to my search tab, and then I will be typing portal.azure, and then I'm gonna do. Let's see, I need to click on sign in on this Azure portal. So I'm going to use my email address. Click on next. The next thing is I have to go process of authenticate my login here. So let me use my mobile phone to authenticate this login. I have to go to authenticator, and I gotta go click on 48 from my phone. And I just did that, and it's to sign in. I don't need, yeah. So with that, I don't have to put the password. I think this is a part of single sign-in feature that Microsoft has. So in this virtual machine, I was able to log in my Azure portal. So this is my portal. So now what I need to do, we are going to create the integration service in Azure Data Factory, right? So if I click on Azure Data Factory, data factories. Let me see if I have the Azure Data Factory. I do not have Azure Data Factory, so I'm going to quickly create the Azure Data Factory here. So let me delete RG as a resource group. So okay, I think I have already named, so I'm going to use the same resource group. Then I'm going to use Data Factory, like Data Factory. I'm going to use v2 git configuration. I will be configuring later. Networking, I'm going to give the public endpoint. For advanced, enable is this. I think it's private, the public. Let me see, git configuration, enable I think this is all for tag and review and create. Validation failed. If I go here, ADF already taken. I'm gonna use a different name. Let's see if it's going to take. Okay, I'm gonna give review and create, and then create. So with that, I just created the data factory to create the integration runtime, right? The deployment process within a minute or less. The deployment is just completed. I'm going to go to my resource. These are all the resources I have on my resource group. Let me refresh the lib ADF. Let me refresh here. The lib ADF is come up, so I'm going to click that to open it, and then I'm going to launch Azure Data Studio or Data Factory. Okay. So this is my Azure Data Factory. Now I will be creating the integration runtime, right? So in order to create the integration runtime, I have to go to the Manage tab. So in that Manage tab, there's a links service we can create, and then there is a next button called the integration runtime. So when I click the integration runtime, there's auto resolving integration. It's already there. This is by default that we said here. This video, there is three types of integration runtime. Azure integration runtime is a default integration runtime, which is used to data movement from Azure to Azure. But other type of integration runtime, we have to create it, right? So we'll be creating self-hosted integration runtime. So I have to click on new, and then I'm going to select the self-hosted integration runtime, and then continue. So with that said, let me see. I should pop up. I should have pop up one quick item here. Let me see if it is. It should ask to give the name of that IR. Enter a name for select create. So let's see why that pop-up was not here. Let me minimize this and minimize this as well. If I see that pop-up around here, no. Let me go back and then self-hosted and continue. Okay, let me see notification. I'm gonna do again self-hosted, create. Okay, self-hosted and create as okay. Now I have to give the name. Let me give the name as I believe self-hosted IR, right? And then I can click on create. So with this, this will give the keys here. So what is happening here is so there is a couple of process we have to perform now. So it's generated by that we have to generate. It gives the key. So now we have to download IR on this virtual machine, and then we have to set up this key on that downloaded integration runtime. So what I can do is I can click on this download and install folder. Let me copy this and save in just in case notepad. I'm going to open, and then I'm going to save this code. Let me do copy I2 as well. This is key 2 and key 1, right? So key 1, key 1, and then key 2. Okay. So, I copied these keys. I'm going to go to the download and install folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on download here, and then I'm going to select. Once I click the download, I have to select integration runtime for my computer. So integration runtime. What integration runtime I'm going to selecting is, I think I'm going to select the first 5.50 release, the latest one. So I'm going to click on download. I have to quickly run. Once this download completed, I will be quickly run that and install integration runtime on my virtual machine. Okay, so integration runtime, I'm going to run this. Right click and right administrator, but for now I just double click. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay, in English, next. I'm going to accept that, and then next, and then the next, and then install. Let me wait a little bit. So once that done, it should pop up to register this integration runtime that with the key that we have. So the key we have here is, if I go back to this, there is a key. I already copied that key in right here as well, just in case. So once that integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime is up, I should be able to see there will be two integration runtime, like self-hosted versus the other, right? So okay, hopefully this is done. Okay, now I have to do the register integration runtime. So what I can do is I can copy this from clipboard here, and then I'm gonna come back and then paste that ID. So authentication key here. This is the authentication key. So I can paste there, and then I can click on register. As soon as I register, it's detected my VM, and then this create the my integration runtime. So I can verify that this is successful, and I can click on finished. Once that done, I should be able to create an integration runtime with no issue. Okay, so integration runtime self-hosted node has been registered successfully. Now I can close this tab. Okay, with that I can close this one as well. So as soon as I create the self-hosted integration runtime, you see this is already popped up, the integration runtime. I think it's similar way if you want to create the SSH integration runtime, we can do so there. So what we can do is, since we have the integration runtime created, we can do quick data activity. Okay, we have the integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime. So let's quickly check if this is gonna work to connect our on-prem server, right? So on-prem server is nothing but I have this is the SQL server, and we wanted to connect this sample database. I want to check that one. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go to the link server, then create the new link server. So I will select SQL server, and let's say the on-prem SQL. Then the important thing is I have to select this self-hosted, and then server name I'm gonna choose what is the server, yeah, SQL server. So I think this I put the Dilip as a server, so I'm gonna give the same name, Dilip. And database name, my database name I'm gonna do with the adventure work 2017. I'm gonna do SQL authentication for now. And then username will be, I have given this one earlier, and password is this. Mandatory, I have to click on select, and then I just click test connection. Some reason is failing, and then if you see the error message, it says, let me bring this. It says cannot connect the SQL database. Please contact the SQL Server team for further support. Server VM database 2017 user this. Link server configuration is correct, and make sure the SQL database firewall allow to integrate runtime to access. So basically, make sure SQL database firewall there is something wrong with the firewall. So let's me see if I open SQL configuration, SQL Server configuration, SQL Server configuration manager. Let me see configuration, SQL Server configuration manager. Is this something I can select? Not sure why it is not popping up. SQL installation center, either an user rating, SQL Server profiler, SQL Server configuration manager, right? 2019 configuration manager. So right here, what was the error again? Error is SQL Data firewall all over to integration runtime firewall. I have to take a little bit more deeper, but or seems like this is SQL Server SSM is running, browser is running. If I connect again here, is there anything for firewall here? Let me try connect the authentication using my login. 1 2 3 4, and then I'm gonna use my password for trust. Connect. Okay. However, I still can connect Windows authentication. So I'll try the Windows authentication login instead of SQL authentication here as well. So let me go to the Windows authentication, and then I'm going to use still ask the username. So 1 2 3 4. Let me type, and then let me test connection. Yeah, there is something. Is connection successfully now. Something wrong with the firewall for the SQL authentication. So I'm going to use window authentication here, and I'm going to create. So basically, what I have done is I was successfully connected my link server. So basically, I created the integration runtime and then link server to my on-prem SQL server. Based on that, I can do other data set data flow pipeline activity. Right. So this is all I want to cover on this video. So I just show you how to create the integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime, and then connect this on-prem server. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.